Good morning. I'm doing this at the request of my friend Brett. I'm going to record from a journal that I write every day on the daily lessons. On this particular day, I was using lesson 220. I am not a body, I am free, for I'm still as God created me. There is no peace except the peace of God. Let me not wander from the way of peace, for I am lost on other roads than this. But let me follow him who leads me home, and peace is certain as the love of God. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. This is August the 8th, and on August the 3rd, I read this from Kate Greaves, who has used A Course in Miracles to awaken in the world and to achieve the peace of God. Here's what she said. What I came to see was that if I desired anything in this world, even the smallest thing, just for an instant, I lost the peace. The most subtlest of an idea that my happiness could lie in something in this world took me out of it. The desire for the peace of God has to be our only desire. Here is the answer. No compromise is possible in this. I'm here to say that this is possible. I am not extraordinary. I am not special. I just didn't compromise. Oh my gosh. Suddenly I saw the light. I saw that this is the answer for me too. From lesson 185, I want the peace of God. To say these words is nothing, but to mean these words is everything. And no one can mean these words and not be healed. Then I looked again at what Kate said. She said there wasn't anything special or extraordinary about her, just that she didn't compromise. I knew, absolutely knew, that this is right and that I can and must do this. So for the next few days, I had been watching my mind with interest to see what it is that I valued more than I valued the peace of God. And I wanted to know, how did thinking about these things move me out of the peace of God? Here are some of the things that I noticed. I was at peace until I passed a mirror and had the thought, I really have to lose some weight. Just like that, I was no longer in peace. That thought was followed by many others. I wondered what to do about my body and what it means that I'm having so much trouble losing weight. I started thinking about what I ate that day and what I shouldn't have eaten. In that moment in which I decided that I need to lose weight, that my body identity, the image I present to the world, and that I think of sometimes as me, became what is important to me. I was no longer at peace. Another time I was at peace when the thought came to me that I wish my son would call me or that I could go spend some time with him. Then I felt sad and lonely, and my mind thought up a special relationship story about this, and it was off and running. I had been happy and at peace, and I had a simple thought of missing my son. I didn't think how much I loved my son, which would not have disturbed my peace of mind. And really, it would have just brought me more joy. Instead, I thought that he should be here with me, that I would be happier if he were here. I wanted the world to be different so I could be happy. And in that thought, I was no longer at peace. I had pain, and I remembered that pain is a choice. Jesus tells us this in many ways. In chapter 8, the body as means or end, he says this: Sickness is a way of demonstrating that you can be hurt. It is a witness to your frailty, your vulnerability, your extreme need to depend on external guidance. The ego uses this as its best argument for your need for its guidance. It dictates endless prescriptions for avoiding catastrophic outcomes. I was using pain to avoid knowing that I am an eternal and divine being, the Son of God. I was using pain to keep myself in the illusion and bound to the ego. I was using pain to avoid the peace of God. Is that insane? I have to work outside a lot, and it's been very hot the last few days. Well, I thought about that and felt like I needed it to be cooler, or I needed to not be working in the heat. I was miserable. I could not sustain the peace of God because my mind kept going back to how drained I was or how high the humidity felt, and like it was trying to breathe through hot water. I wanted the world to be different. I chose something other than the peace of God. But in each of these circumstances, I chose again. I remembered lesson 185. I remembered that the peace of God is everything I want. The peace of God is my one goal, the aim of all my living here, the end I seek, my purpose and my function in my life, while I abide where I'm not at home. I know from years of doing this work that I cannot simply say that I'm not going to think certain things and then I stop thinking them. But I know that if I want these thoughts to be removed from my mind, they will be. The Holy Spirit responds to our slightest desire for healing. So this is what I did. I saw that when these stray thoughts came into my mind, and I found myself wanting something other than the peace of God, that I immediately lost that wonderful, joyful peace. I reminded myself that the peace of God is everything I want. I asked the Holy Spirit to heal my mind of the belief that anything else can make me happy. I didn't try to stop missing my son. I asked for healing, and I began to anticipate that healing. I'm watching my mind and my feelings to see what it is like to feel only love for him and no need at all. I didn't try to stop caring about how I look. I just started watching for a change, not knowing what that would look like, but anticipating a way to see this idea that does not leave me feeling guilty and afraid. I anticipate feeling free. How that occurs or what it looks like is not my business. My desire for healing is my part. The rest is for the Holy Spirit, and he doesn't need my help. Yesterday, the heat index where I was working was 102 degrees. And you know what? I was fine. I was hot, but I wasn't suffering. I was at peace. It was going to be this high and higher all next week. And I'm at peace with that. I'm not worried about it, and I have no reason to dread it. I don't feel like calling my family or friends and asking them to commiserate with me. I don't feel like finding somewhere to place blame. I'm at peace. I spent the last few days watching my mind, going back to the painful but familiar way of seeing the world as something to change in order to be happy, to seeing in the world something that I need. But now I see that the peace of God truly is everything I need. Though I hear the ego mind trying to pull me back into the illusion of need, and I notice the thoughts that there are some things that can't be so easily dismissed, I will happily continue this practice. Like Kate, I will not compromise. I love this. Thank you. Talk to you guys later.